Well, I can tell you're not bothered by that sound. What about you? Are you just able to drown it out with those massive cat ears of yours? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Well, that's a lot of light coming in up there. And yeah, I got some noisy Max Air fans. It's just like, it's par for the course because there's a whole bunch of crap they can get up inside there. I watched a video on YouTube on how to like clean them out, and I think it's time for that to get done. The temperatures are going to be warm today, but they're not going to be stupid hot. And if you've been watching a lot of my previous videos, you know that my whole setup here is I usually put one of those plastic covers from the air conditioner. I tape it right to the top of this vent. I'd like to get the fan less noisy before I put that back up there, like when it gets hot and whatnot. I'm planning on heading off for a camping trip this weekend, so should probably get that out of the way. My goodness. Wow. But I've got everything I need except one thing, and I know as soon as I say this, people are going to be like, well, you could have just done this. You could have fashioned toothpicks with tweezers and done... Tweezers? I'd rather just have them in my arsenal. I have all the tools necessary, not that you need a lot, but there's a snap ring on like the shaft. Everybody just calm down. That needs to come off when you're removing the motor from the housing or whatever. I don't have snap ring pliers. And instead of jerking around with some sort of jerry-rig nonsense with straws and ice cubes or something, I am just gonna go pick myself up a pair of cheap ones over at Canadian Tire. Unfortunately, the Canadian Tire that's really close to me is completely sold out, which means we're gonna have to go a little bit further south into the city. But that's okay. We will do that. We'll probably use the washroom while we're out and about anyway, and then we will find a place to hunker down. Yeah, and see if we can get these fans to, you know, shut the hell up. Huh? Not you. You're fine. Just drink your water. Good girl. Drink your water as I pet you and distract you. Sorry. So before we actually get on the road to Canadian Tire, we should talk about something. And it's definitely going to sort of set the tone, or at least change the tone here for a little bit, but it has to do with Stella. And it's a weird situation because I really don't know the best approach when the time comes, if you don't know what I'm talking about. She's not well, but she's also very well. It's a very hard situation. And anyway, what happened yesterday, it was actually yesterday morning, like early, 4 o'clock in the morning. I woke up and there was just this like foul smell in the van, and she came by me. It was really dark. I couldn't, like, there was no lights on in the van yet, right? It just sort of jarred me awake. And she came by and I gave her a pet, and I felt on her tail that it was wet. And my immediate thought was, oh great, she's had a runny poop, and it's probably everywhere, all over the litter box. So I turn the light on, I see it on my hand. It's not, at the time I still think, okay, yeah, it's a number 2. And I cleaned that off, and I look in the litter box, there's nothing really in there. And I noticed that it's on her tail and it's on her paws, and she had kind of traced it a couple steps on the bed. But again, so I cleaned that up as best as I can, right? But I can still smell this smell, and I didn't know what to make of it. And it wasn't until a little while later that I went to move Lucky for the day. I got in the driver's seat and I realized the smell was actually coming from the blanket that was on top of the car seat that's always in my passenger seat. And it was just this massive throw up. So it's very, very odd, very concerning, obviously. She's been prone to throwing up for a while now, but they've always been like these normal, just like hairball sized, or just a little bit of hard food. That was the original reason why I stopped feeding them hard food, was because she didn't seem to keep any of it down no matter what I tried. And I switched them over to this wet food. Well, this throw up was a throw up of all of the wet food she had obviously eaten however long ago it had been. Flash forward to later in the day, I had fed them their dinner, and I had been in the mall with my little girl, and I took my little girl home. And when I came back into the van, I could smell it again, and I realized there was yet again another absolutely huge throw up on the bed. Thank goodness on what I call the puke blanket, because it would have just been horrific otherwise. And so my immediate thought was, 2 in less than 24 hours, it might be time, which is a very hard decision to make. And then I was rolling around in my head, well, I'm going to get her out to the vet. I got to get these blankets to the laundromat, because it's just an absolutely foul stench to have in a tiny home. So I went to the laundromat, got that all cleaned up, And then I took some time to sort of like slowly feed her some of these like really healthy hard food kibbles that the pet store had given me last time I was there as a sample, and she seemed to keep them down. My thought process was, well, she's not keeping anything wet down. Maybe she's got maybe it's just a tummy bug. Maybe it's not time. I've said it before. I hate that when it, like, as a pet owner, the pets never make it easy for you, right? It's never like they just sort of like, at least in my experience, and I know there's going to be people out there that have experienced this, where the pet just sort of like, they know it's time and they go and they lay down and they just pass. In my experience, all of my amazing fur babies have always made it very difficult for me by showing that they very emphatically have a lot of life left in them, but they are suffering from whatever XYZ downfall they might have succumbed to. Like they can't eat, or they can't keep food down, or they've got whatever the case may be. And Stella's falling right in line with that. Either way, I slowly fed her those hard kibbles last night. No incidents overnight last night. Woke up this morning, nothing. I just fed her and Penny some wet food, and so it's just kind of a waiting game to see if she can keep that down. So yeah, I don't know. And the reason I say that it's like, I don't know how to approach it, because the time is going to come, and I know that a lot of people of my audience here are connected or attached to the animals, right? So I don't want to do everybody a disservice by not talking about it or not showing my emotions or whatever, and I'm probably getting ahead of myself. I will have to do what I always do and just play it by ear as it comes. But I feel like I wanted to get this off my chest and just let everybody know where I'm at, and it's a good way for me to sort of process what I'm feeling, to apparently yap at my camera. So that's that situation. She's in the back now, just laying there, having a gay old time. So that's where that's at. Just so I guess I'm worried about maybe blindsiding people in an upcoming vlog or something. But anyways, everything seems to be on the up and up right now. So let's go get our day started. One thing I forgot to mention in that whole little monologue there is that fairly recently I picked up a joint supplement to that. It's like a liquid that can just be put on their food. My first thought was maybe that's what's causing her to throw up, right? I introduced something new that could very well be it. My only pause at that train of thought was that I had actually been slacking, and I hadn't given it to them for a couple mornings. You're only supposed to give it to them once a day, and I know there had been at least 2 days had passed, so I don't know. The next thought was maybe their bowls were dirty. I've been pretty good, especially lately, on staying on top of keeping their bowls clean, but that's exactly what I did before she got those hard foods last night. I thoroughly cleaned both their food dishes and their water bowl. And just purring away. Some people's kids. But anyways, long story short, I am not giving them that supplement now, and we will just see how it goes. If the situation deteriorates, the next step is going to be going to a vet just to at least get an expert's opinion on the matter. Now let's get our day started. Yeah, I'm still rocking this very attractive look, but my foot is healing quite nicely. I think I got very lucky with that whole situation where I was able to just sort of slap it back together and pucker my butt and pray for the best. All right, you ready to get going? Gonna fix those noisy, squeaky fans, okay? All right, hold on to your butts. All right, so this is actually the Shaughnessy Canadian Tire. So that's smaller than the normal one I go to, but apparently they have 7 of the pliers that I need. So hopefully the app's not lying to me. But first things first. What the? That's not ideal. That's weird. There's no soap anywhere. I'm imagining it's supposed to be here. Lovely. How are you doing today? Not too bad. I just wanted to let you know there's no soap in the men's washroom at all.
That's weird.
Yeah, like it looks like there's like a thing on the wall, like a mount to hold the dispenser, but there's no dispenser.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
I wonder if the cleaning crew noticed that last night.
Just thought I'd let you guys know.
Okay,
No worries. Oh, that's cool. What is this? I saw it, I couldn't help myself. Comes with a whole bunch of different heads. That should do the job. Oh, aren't we gonna find out? Ah, they have them here. T level. Well, I didn't even try looking that up. I remember seeing this in a Foresty Forest video. He put it on his dashboard. And I thought that's a brilliant idea to like make sure your house is level, and I could not find them online to save my life. Just happened to stop in the RV section here at Canadian Tire, and Bob's your bloody uncle.
Please place your bag in the bagging area and press start scanning. Please scan your first item. Please place the item in the bag. Please remove your bags and take your receipt.
All right. This one will be nice and simple because it's right above my little table here. So that's handy. Get my tool roll out. Okay, and if I remember correctly, it's 3/30 seconds for the little hex screw or whatever the hell. And then I'm gonna need my snips to take the zip ties off. All right, roll this back up and let's take a fan apart. So, ooh, be a good excuse to clean the screen too. Hi Stellies, how you feeling? No throw up yet, that's a good thing. Girl. Yes, this will allow me the opportunity to actually clean the fan blades. I have before. This is not nearly as bad as it has gotten. But yeah, the first thing I gotta do is take out this little screw here. And that is what this 3/30 seconds Allen wrench is for. Yeah, fits right in there. No problem. Excuse me. What are you? I can't repair you with these tools. Why is my diesel heater on? I must have leaned on my keys in my pocket. That's a very bad idea. The last thing we need. Where are my damn keys? Yep, the little fob slide was down in my pocket. Okay, so I'm gonna crack this guy loose. So, ooh, doesn't take much, just loosen it, the whole damn thing comes off. Clean that, yuck. So you got two 8mm nuts here. Don't have my sockets handy and I'm not gonna move. I'm just gonna use my impact driver to get these bad boys out. The large battery was a mistake. Oh, man alive. It's just a little bulky. That's good. Plus it makes this a whole lot lighter. There we go. There's gonna be a nut, and there is a washer here as well. That off. Other side. Okay. Same idea. Get that washer out of there. Nice. And then there's a couple zip ties that are holding the wires on this part of the, I don't know what, structural support beam. Cut those off. I do have other ones, but I've noticed on my rear fan, they're not super detrimental. The wires are pretty much the right length to stay out of the way, unlike this cat. Okay. Now, pull this up here. Yikes. There we go. And then, we can see here. Ooh, that's terrible lighting. But there's 2 Phillips head screws on the motor here. I'm gonna take those off, and then we'll see how dirty it is on the inside. Get a Phillips head for the impact driver. Somebody out there is gonna be losing their mind, being like, you can't use an impact driver for all this stuff, you're gonna break it. Whatever. Works just fine. Okay, so we've got 2 long screws here, and it also looks like washers again. Wow, a whole bunch of schmutz just came pouring out of there. Hold the phone, I gotta get my snap ring pliers, man. What did we... Wow, there's a whole bunch of crap falling out. This thing is filthy. I gotta open up those snap ring pliers. Oh my gosh, this is disgusting. No wonder it's making so much noise. Gasket comes off. Then we should be able to pull... Whoa. I got brushes and stuff. We gotta clean that up. Then we got... Oh, that is nasty AF. This is the inside of this thing. Look at all that crap in there. What is that? That looks like gum or something stuck in there. I wonder how easy that's gonna come out. Is that just part of the brush? Yikes. I know this whole thing should come out. It's something, it's like a, oh yeah, no, that's part of the thing. Never mind, that gum looking stuff's supposed to be there. The dirt and schmutz, ugh, is not. I did not think this through. I'm now sort of stuck here with all of this stuff on the table, but I need to take this outside, and I'm gonna use that compressed air to try to blow it clean. Ugh. I also have to figure out how to like reset this part with the brush. Oh, that's super easy. Okay, the magnets just sort of slide in. Nice. The video I watched wasn't super clear on this, but I told myself, I'm like, it's probably pretty straightforward. This needs to be cleaned off as well. God! Turns out there's a lot of crap in the air that these fans deal with. All right, that's all cleared off. I can close this now, except gotta it's getting everywhere. Every time I knock one of these things over, so much of this crap comes out. Reach back here, get ourselves a senior citizen's wipe, and then just attack it. Ooh. Wow. They're so dirty. I don't know what happened to my voice there, but that's shocking. I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. I've never done this before, but that's, here we go. It's like it never happened. Yeesh. Okay, I'm gonna try and explain this as best as I can. In the middle here of this part, actually, first of all, these, I don't know, the guy I watched called these brushes, got this one on this side, this one on that side. These little tiny silver tabs are magnets. Behind them, that little tiny, even more silver part is a spring. And I couldn't figure out how to get them to stay. They kept wanting to pop out, but it's these little black tits right on the side here. Wrap this copper looking wire thing around that, and that'll hold them in place and out of the way. And then I was able to, oh, I still gotta get in there and clean on the sides, yikes. But I was able to get out this center bit, and this goes right down in that middle section there. And this thing was covered in dirt as well. I don't know if the orientation matters. I'm assuming it does. So I've told myself that placing it down, the down part will always go back up. That's my system. You do you. I'm gonna clean out some more schmutz and see if I can get this thing back together. So I got that silver part back in there in the middle. It popped right in. And then you've got the part that I was cleaning, right? And this, looks like some sort of Tesla experiment. Nikola, not the car company. It's all magnets, right? So I'm gonna put that, just wants to pop right back in there. It's interesting because the video I watched said it would get pulled to either side. This one is staying nice and straight as far as I can tell. And then you've got, I don't know, this label on the side that says white wire this way, black wire that way. I guess you could put this in upside down, but there's a little notch here for the wires, and the wires have this little rubber boot. So it's really only one way for this to go back together. So I'm just gonna do that. Got my gaskets in place. There we go. There's a definite feel for when you hit that. All right, where's my, here we go. Tighten these up, not crazy, just down. Easy enough to line up with the screws. Okay, Now I got to clean my fan first, and then we'll get this all back in. So we got the fan nice and clean. Still going to wipe off the screen. That's fine. That can be done whenever. And I did my best to clean it all around inside here and on these arms. Plus up here on the joint, I cleaned it up. There was a huge buildup of crap. Wiped that out as best I could, and I actually hit it with some white lithium grease because I was noticing that the opening and closing was a little tighter than usual and kind of sticky. And I reached up and wiped everywhere that I could just to get the dust and dirt and crap off of my fan, because yuck. Just get her started. Excellent. Get the old, but don't go quite that fast. Yeah. Just snug her down. Bring the motor into place. Give it a little once and twice. Don't want to crack any plastic. Looking good. Now throw the fan back up there and tighten up that hex head. Oh God, there's still so much dirt on there. Nasty. Uh-oh, we got a bigger problem now. It's not working at all. I knew I bumped something when I was inside there. That sucks. This fan might be shot now. That's brutal. Okay, well, this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. So upon further inspection, I think the issue is that I left these copper wires around those little black nipples. Now that I've got this in, I'm going to unhook them and the magnet should touch up against that copper like cylinder in there. This is a little bit more frustrating than I initially thought it would be, but fingers crossed this solves my problem. Yeah, sorry, I had to take my shirt off. It was getting a little worm in here. I think finally got it. Oh, I gotta put those. Don't put that back on yet. Gotta put the 8mm nuts back on first. So it's definitely a little bit more finicky. You do got to pay attention, and this is, I mean, a little bit of mechanical know-how would definitely come in handy. Not as simple to put back together as I thought, but not crazy. And after taking a minute and just looking at how the machine works, I noticed like kind of like the grooves on the outside of that copper cylinder, and that's when I clicked. I'm like, oh, this must be where those little magnet brushes go. And I did not have that the first time. Hey, we got a spinning fan. It's still making noise though. Not as much as it was. No, just as much as it was. So at least we got the fan clean and we learned how to take it apart. My gosh. I guess it's a little quieter. Well, we'll do the rear one and see if I can get that one fixed. That's the one that's right above my bloody head when I'm sleeping. Not that I usually have the fan going when I'm sleeping, but still. Huh. Okay, well, the rear one went off like a hot damn. It is silent now that I've cleaned it out and got it all back together. Now I know how to do this properly. It went so well on that back one that it inspired me to come back up here and take the front one apart again. And what I realized why it was still making a noise, I haven't gotten it back together yet. But check this out. Okay, so these little magnets here that I've got wrapped around the black tits, nipples, what have we been calling it? I don't know. But when I opened it up, I noticed this little piece of magnet was stuck to the top of this, like it was magnetized to it. And this little piece has actually broken off of this one on the left. So I don't know how much that's going to affect this. I mean, I don't know. In my head, it's like, well, that's what the spring is for, because those magnets are going to get worn down anyway. So I'm hoping that it was just this little piece in there that was still causing all of that noise. So I'm going to reassemble this now, and fingers crossed. They grind, they go against the side of this thing here, right? So you can see all those grooves there. So I don't know what caused that to break off, but hopefully having it removed will fix my noise issue. Let's find out. Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna need a new motor. I'm gonna put it back together and just live with whatever noise it's gonna make, but I just put it back together and turned it on, and it was making the weirdest noise ever. So I opened it back up, and even more of that magnet has now completely disintegrated. Can't be, I mean, getting a new motor is probably not that bad, and then you just cut the black and white wires here and you can rewire a new one in, right? But that is what it is. At least I'm learning lots, and the back one is completely silent. So let's slap it back together and figure out what my new noise I have to live with sounds like. Not terrible, and I think actually maybe a little bit better than it was the first time. But remember earlier when I said I didn't know if it mattered which way that one magnet was? Yeah, it turns out it absolutely 100% does matter, because this would not turn on for me forever. I kept taking it apart. I probably did it 3 times, took it apart, put it back together, until I decided to just flip the bottom one, and then it worked right away. So, hey, fun with magnets. Yeah, it actually sounds a lot better. I actually used the file on my Leatherman Wave Plus to file down that magnet brush part, whatever the hell it is, just to make it a little smoother. And now we are all systems go for now. Obviously that won't last forever, but hey, nothing does. Time to get the screen back in there, get this disaster cleaned up, and I'm gonna go across the street and get myself an absolutely well-deserved late lunch. Hungry.
So 2030, sir.
Ah, Wendy's has soap. Excellent. Thank you very much, Beth. That is what the phone holder you sent me can do. So I stopped at my mailbox and had a couple packages to pick up. This one I knew was coming because Beth, one of my awesome Patreon supporters, told me she'd grabbed it off of my wish list for me, and it was on its way, and it has arrived. It is a phone holder by Ulanzi. Let me see if I can even unscrew it. Yeah, ooh, it's going to be hard to do with one hand. I'm not going to be able to, but 2 wheels on the back. The red one will prevent this grip from moving. So if you tighten it up, right, spin it back. Now I can't open it. And then the inner wheel, it's tight, you loosen it up, and it changes the orientation of the phone itself. And this really secures the phone when I'm using this magnet mount to get those shots that I get that are a little bit more dynamic than just me holding my phone on a selfie stick. Thank you again, Beth. I had 2 other packages. Let's see what is in them. Let's get down here to Fish Creek Park to do a couple van chores before I do my live stream tonight, which in this case is just empty some bottles and throw out some garbage. I also, because the weather's so nice, stopped at 7-Eleven, got myself some candy because I'm a big child, and a Slurpee, strawberry melon. Yeah, that'll make your teeth shake. Something about Slurpees in summer. They're reminiscent of my childhood. Probably because it was a big part of my childhood. Okay, a couple things here. One from Amazon. One, ow! I actually think this finally came, and I know that it is actually from Dean because his name is on the envelope. It's very flat, but it's also very heavy. Thick sticker, magnet, tiny weighted blanket. What is it? Oh, huh. Oh yeah, they're magnets that I can't show you and I'm gonna keep to myself. Thought it was an awesome picture, so I had a friend make these for you. Figured one for Lucky and one for your parents. Cheers from Ontario, Dean. Thank you very much, Dean. I appreciate that. Dean. And in the other package, oh God, is it another wiener roaster with a wiener? What is this? I'm not gonna look at what the description on the box says. Huh. I always like to point out that the fans are still nice and quiet. I feel like this is a license. Oh, no, definitely not. Those are clamps, hose clamps. Even 4 hose clamps for very large hose clamps. One just hit the cat's water dish. What in the who and the what now? I hope there's an explanation in here. Hey, there's a from tag. Just wondered if you could maybe Velcro one of these to your vent fan and then it can hold the hose for your air conditioner from Leopard Girl. I think she just wants to hold a hose. We'll put those in the garage at the back. Man, I hope I remember to pick those up before I go to bed tonight. You know what? There's something else I should probably get out of the way while I'm down here. I've been meaning to do it for a while, and I haven't, and now seems to be the appropriate time. How's it going, everybody? Really quick before we get to the video, I just wanted to let everybody know that there is finally a brand new merch store. It's made through the website Fourth Wall. Hi, Stella, come on outside. The link will be in the description of every video going forward, hopefully, and also below the video. You should see a couple selections of said items. There's a whole bunch of stuff over there, and I will do my best to continue to add new stuff, or as I guess as they say in the biz, feature new drops. I know there has been a lot of requests for certain merchandise, so go on over there, check it out, see if there's anything that tickles your fancy. Just wanted to let y'all know, because so many of you have been asking. Brand new Vanlife Plus merch store. All right, enjoy the video. How many times have you seen that recently? Now you know where it came from. And if you're interested in getting that phone mount for yourself, this is it. It's the Ulanzi brand. It's the Iron Man 4. And so far, it is, I don't know if ST27 is of any importance. Like if they call it a phone clip, yeah, okay. Either way, it seems rock solid, and I'm really loving it. The one thing I'll give this time of year, aside from the heat, not that it's that hot today, the colors sure pop. Hi. How are you? You know what? I said it wasn't that hot right now, sitting here trying to figure out where to put this frickin' thing. It's gotten quite warm and I'm already sweating. Look at that. Yuck. Maybe less Slurpee, more water. I'm not going to bother fighting with this or stressing myself out. I will find a spot for this in due time. I'm just glad I found it, which is kind of cool. And yeah, I'm glad I got the fans done. Those have been bugging me for a while. Now I know how to do them. It should be very simple the next time it has to happen, because it's gonna happen again. It's just sort of like the way it is with those kinds of fans, blowing debris and crap all over the place, in and out and across the land. Not to mention, I gotta go get some provisions for my live stream tonight, so I think that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna leave this entry of the vlog here. So until the next one, go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves. Most importantly, be positive. And remember, on the dead fish, go with the flow.